No. Air one's like, that's like Williams.
You all are obsessed.
I'm not. I would never think of that myself. Actually, I like.
Okay, the email chain was set. No. We have to start because Tyler has to leave. We can't waste time. What he can do, here, you for your send the one and C, can you just add his email to it and you can have it?
Grab it for 5 minutes.
I think it's 5, right?
Yeah, 4 with Tyler. Okay, fine.
How selfless of you.
Okay. Okay, the 1EC was sent. Is anybody not good? There's a door that needs to be closed for Crump. Can you do the honors? Okay, therefore, with no further ado, I begin. Oh.
We have 2 debaters and 3 judges? Okay, yeah, debate, have fun.
Okay, cool. EV, good. I affirm the possession of nuclear weapons is a moral contention 1, crisis instability. The international order is imploding. Nuclear abolition, regardless of its temporary drawbacks, is golden path to prevent otherwise inevitable extinction erupts in 23. We face existential threat from conflict at any time with the erosion of taboo, Putin's threats, the breakdown of arms control, destabilizing technology, China's decision to expand its arsenal, instability in Pakistan, North Korea's defiance of linking previous seconds when movements had map support. There's limited pressure to reduce nuclear weapons. It's highly likely they will be used. Even the limited nuclear war estimated to kill 2 billion, full scale could kill 5 billion people. Only guarantee is complete abolition of considerable effort is needed. Politicians subscribe to real politics, cry disarmament as naive, rely on questionable assumptions, bomb turn the world into a prison. The only way to win is not to play accents, corruption, and human error make cumulative probability hit the root belt 23. Corruption indicates a flaw in rational choice, argument, misreading, intent, failure of communication, leak of information, all lead to crisis. Proponents would have you believe accents are impossible. Argue leaders never consider a possibility. Record is scattered with close calls. Exclusions are real. 966 broken arrow fortune. Safe residents of North Carolina on multiple occasions. Signals misread. Protocols initiated in 2007. 6 missiles were loaded onto a bomber. If you could delay a given chance, longest possibility above 0, likely it will occur becomes a certainty. With China and Russia possessing enormous arsenals to control corruption, dissent, and seeking to establish dynastic legacies, is rationality so reliable? Time is running out. Correct against cognitive biases, which shape your risk calculus away from our impacts. Rebuttals 22. One sec. To avoid Brexit deterrence, each component operate without slip up. We have to force the contingency. Good luck runs out. Even if good management makes disaster improbable, airlines cannot expect luck to hold forever. Same is true of nuclear. Or wait. Explanation for failure to action risk is hard to discern. People underestimate risk of catastrophe. We have not experienced. Same is true of nuclear war with failure risk rates complacency. This is true of low frequency, high impact risk. Taking this evidence practice to save any life concrete image of what nuclear war would be like. The dangers of the time. Evidence arrives. Chance for total disaster loss. Cognitive biases encourages global cost of nuclear war. Front-loaded cost fall on future generations. Nuclear war seen as a long-term threat. Release pressure for radical change. If any event of non-zero probabilities, bounded materials that could see nuclear war is inevitable. World War III is imminent. Trump is off the radar. Iran has proliferated nukes. Russia is probing NATO now. She sees the US as distracted. Kim just doubled its missile protection in the week 26. Iran fully prepared for war in response to U.S. intervention. Trump new imperialist projects unilateralism, evident dangerous precedent. Prospect of third world war close to November catches worse since last June. Summer looked to drag in U.S., Russia, and China. Both back down threats from Iran's nuclear program. Heightened claims by Trump debunked. Russia readiness never before seen scale. Russia Putin ready. If necessary provocation of NATO at pinpoints. We're testing NATO defense and successful cruise missile alert. Another escalation. Trump emboldened Russia's efforts to encourage attack force all conflict agencies. Island as a part denounced Taiwan's party which won a third term last year. Held live drills. Fired said news ships. Taiwan by 27th century of the PLA. With Trump's focus on regime change by Congress to distract towards global confrontation. North Korea last week fired ballistic missiles. Kim called to double tactical guided weapons. Conducted test firing warship launch. Nuclear missiles. China pressuring it to open a new front so China can take Taiwan. New tech magnifies escalation risk by breaking strategic stability. Only disarmament solves Sour 25. Emerging tech undermined nuclear stability could replace nukes, AI, cyber, advanced hypersonics, post threats, reshapes calculations, faster maneuverable, modern missiles threaten, early warning systems, delivery platform states, adopt preemptive posture, swarm, sensors, make stops, detectable, eliminate second strike, way out, eliminate nuclear arsenals, credibility of nuclear detectable, enormously destructive, lack credibility, modern conventional weapons, occupy viable middle ground, data poisoning, unique escalation vector, Falcon 3. Modernized CNC rely on computers that pulls cyber exploitation, significant risk with outdated retaliatory option components may be compromised in supply chains, can introduce malicious code, spoofing, inject false data into key systems, hiding missiles or creating false signals likely by non-peer or terrorist group. The Swiss cheese model represent individual safeguards. However, launch under attack posture creates opportunity for system weakness, creating incentives to trust early warning systems when used. Decision chain begin precedent informed by vulnerable data in high-stress environment. China's rise to nuclear peer status is particularly worrying. Broad 23. The Cold War avoided nuclear war with mature structures like stability. Such begin as first nuclear arms were tested in Texas as force parity reduced conflicts of Moscow and equal footing. That's the case. Today, departures Beijing plan to predict nuclear war. Hence, by 2035 will increase making nuclear war. Nuclear war causes extinction and collapses the environment. Bonachik et al. 23. Detonation direct physical species effect, species mortalities, impairs species capacity to reproduce, cascading effects on terrestrial marine life, contamination loss thousands of years, immediate effects on air quality, body, deforestation, wildfires, habitat, water soils would increase significantly, plume, alter climate globally, radiation loss, oxygen, lower temperature, affect planetary productivity, causing declining crop production, food security, contaminated, making any agriculture unfit for consumption, forest fires, extend damage, spread particles, destroy forests, wetlands, and biodiversity hotspots, accelerate extinction, directly hamper survival, and decision makers underestimate consequences of nuke war, direct consequences on habitable ecosystems, and the Anthropocene by moving far from boundaries that make the planet habitable. Conventional deterrence trumps the nuclear run. Lab 23. Nuclear weapons are irrelevant for deterrence like a major power war since 1945, not defense of nukes, but destructive conventional militaries. Examining key flashpoints, Cuba, Arab-Israeli war, nuclear deterrence strategies, more provocative study of 200 use of force in episodes involving USA and Soviet, outcome determined by conventional military balance at local level rather than nuclear arsenal manufactured irrespective of severity. Non-nuclear states in dispute with nuclear power more likely to escalate even when reported as nuclear weapons will not affect likely to initiate. A litany of examples decisively disprove deterrence, believe it's 15. Weapons of deterrence, which is real world nuclear weapons of warfare proven wrong since 1861 for dynamite, submarines, artillery, smokeless powder, machine gun, and poison gas. Nuclear armed states never fought. Proven wrong in 1969, clash between China and Russia 1999, between India and Pakistan. Nuclear armed states attacked by non-nuclear states. U.S. troops attacked by Chinese forces in 1950. Vietnamese in 1960s. Israel by Syria and Egypt in 1973. Iraq in 1991. 1982. Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands. Contention 2's framework. Political philosophy does not attempt to answer what is truth, but rather questions of just pragmatic governance. Ronheimer 05. Political philosophy reflects and aims at actions, must consider realization. Philosophy which it extract from realizability doomed to fail. Political philosophy is not metaphysics, but practical. Deals with contingent matters, unlike norms, in general, which rule actions of a person, establishing rules by which a multitude are regulated. Political actions are actions of the whole, and which we espouse some persons rule others, subjects rule over free persons, therefore need justification in search of consent. That makes util unnecessary meta-morality to arbiter inevitable moral disagreements through a common metric. Green 13. We need a meta-morality to make choices among competing values. Perhaps more questions have no objective answers. Even if that's true, knowing that's not much help, we have to choose. The pragmatist seeks agreement and shared values, a currency for weighing values based on experience we all care about. None of us want to suffer, lie behind everything we value. Yields of philosophy nobody loves, no one loves, but everyone gets. Doesn't require magical abilities to measure happenings, constantly calculating. It's our best guide to life. Yeah, that's it.
I want to start with this 1AC Bonachich card. I want you to tell me which line you think it says where it says nuclear war causes extinction.
Sure. It says that it would, the very end of the card says that direct consequences of uninhabitable ecosystems end the Anthropocene by moving Earth far from the living boundaries that make the planet habitable for humans and many other species.
Can you explain how it gets there? Like,
Sure.
How does it just end the Anthropocene? Humans obviously existed before, they ran all life on Earth.
Well, it says it would make it uninhabitable, which is the last part that I just got at. I was just giving the full
so what's
sentence.
the scenario? Okay, what's the scenario for getting there?
Scenario for getting to extinction?
Yeah.
Sure. So we said that there's direct physical effects which, quote, impair species' capacity to reproduce. The next claim is that there's cascades across
fertility
ecosystems.
Crisis causes extinction?
Sure, we think that there's claims about that. The second argument is about cascades, so the effect that it would have on some ecosystems would spill over to others. The third claim is that it would alter the climate from radiation, which is what destroys oxygen. The fourth is that it destroys crop production, and the fifth is that...
that makes sense. These authors are Department of Ecosystems and the Environment, School of Agriculture and Forestry, at some random university. Why do you think these people are qualified to determine?
They're PhDs. They study this for a living. I think
they study forestry.
Department of Ecosystems. If you study ecosystems, I feel like if we're making a claim it destroys food production, I feel like a PhD in forestry and agriculture is kind of important, right? This guy knows his shit.
Okay, I want to talk about the framework.
Yeah.
Political philosophy requires utilitarianism. Can you explain how utilitarianism functions? What is relevant under util?
What is relevant under util? We've said that we can understand that suffering is a bad thing. We intuitively know this to be true because all of us in the room do not want to suffer. I think that we've made a claim that util is important from a pragmatic perspective because
you highlighted none of us want to suffer, but you didn't highlight we all want to be happy. Do you only defend we none of us want to suffer, or
I feel like we said that we said both are important because it's a common currency based on experience.
Which highlighted line do you think says that?
I feel like like, I mean, you're trying to get like the link of omission here, I feel
No,
like.
I'm just asking, like, no.
Okay, I'll admit it, we didn't highlight the card.
Okay.
It says we value experience, we can make claims. If you want to make claims about like negative util or wipeout or whatever, we can dispute those because the 1C hasn't introduced it.
Okay. I'll start something else. The order is 2 in the case.
Oh, really? All right. Oh, you have it. I have you at 2 off in the case. Is that correct, my friend?
Yeah.
All right. I'll get that doc. I'm opening the document.
What?
One second, please. Is it going to be the advantage at all?
Advantage then for
Oh. Sure. Wait, I made a second off instead of second case. Move or copy.
Sorry, one more time, what is order?
2 off, advantage framing. So you're good?
Okay, I'm getting it up, sorry. Macros are disabled. What does that mean? Just crash everything? Okay, I'm opening the doc. Okay. I'm good.
Well, you're good. Wait. First off, interpretation actual specify a subset of possession violation. They don't know plan of active investigation requires specifying the audit. So the word though alone doesn't mean plan of action is also bad. For some reason, repeating substance impossible word vote what should is the biggest problem word that will be catching per confidence and avoid use. Lamar 1914 constitution technical terminology, no word or used in possession interest use. Describe actual information possession people say where one as and other begins to fairness the request subset. Do not precise mark attendees for defining substance defendant article specifying particular effect as opposed to identify generalizing article A substitution first idea of highway the highway. Once determined which specific operating the highway substitution refers to particularly always is based on pre-run proactivity in terms encourages best norm and a sum of reasonable in terms of increase and individual topic next off is a refugees Counterplan. The states should build or repurpose at least deploy at least 10 high-class submarines, fully stocked with onboard food production, specifically 9 for refugees assigned to Port Island, selected for stability, store genetically diverse furs and eggs, sperm and everything in the submarines, grow marijuana, help in the submarine marines, and spread throughout territories, underwater refugees, 0 long-term survivability for nuclear war, green 15 and high-class, some refugees support large of entrepreneur family can hold so much for 5 years, and that's experience decided to survive nuclear war, alliance can 1 years better than refuel 75, and U.S. Canadian refugees have made become recommissioned filled with these foods, seeds, and equipment in new refugees, because survivability and team whole large storage crew growing and they're harvesting in a second reactor, around 10 increase survivability chances in Portland, adopting for children starting point for civilization, generating oxygen, electricity, water, diesel, and within nuclear explosions, and regional exists only minor adaptations. 98 is enough to repopulate Powell 18 program. Similarly, persistently intervening catastrophic events. 98 operates at a health population for more than 6,000 years. Apply to any inclusive harmony even ability to 90 carry enough diversity. Marijuana tools extinction of group. Green 18 comments. Radioactivity humans. Major around nuclear winter. Winter with marijuana. Chemicals solution up in the fall of temperature. Chernobyl clean. Kelp buffers nuclear winter. 24 nuclear. Kelp could be harvested to replace food currently consumed providing by food production. And will feed nuclear winter blackouts. Sounds like hillbillies. Health farms would help to humans winter until climate recovers. The case. Concedes Ash solves nuclear war, it's good, scientific consensus negates nuclear winter, it's currently impossible, but because of arsenal scientific levels, and war now is better than war later, will 24 sound like the universe extinction. Winter has been a perfect scientific design, so both in view of every city was struck, worst cases, RPC injection would be far less than technology extinction, Joe conclusively when going to nuclear hazards, the cost extinction weapons would be designed to reduce this world as conceivable future, stockholders will be larger threat extinction, latest studies include no chance of extinction, and first transition robotic 235 nuclear, the extinction not ruled out institutional studies and program unlikely, Australia, New Zealand was both studied and have serious survival not climate destruction not long enough oxygen and controversials with greenhouse budget global south surviving has a little loss of new world to run up to not repeat mistakes. Bonnet is wrong. One it's on study rather than assertion-based logic. Our studies must have higher their hurdles. That's what moves the Earth from boundaries that are habitable. It's not extinction. 2 doesn't do the study. That's 3. Their authors don't. 3 there doesn't cause extinction. It says quote local extinctions are really bad, but it doesn't really actually never gets to the word extinction, which is right now. The 1C framing said negative util because they never highlighted the part where it said pleasure matters. That means that they don't get argued, which means if we win that they cause more suffering, you should vote neg. Now the capitalist transition one industry would be unprofitable without available fossil fuels. While made 19 of civilization, but the industry agent enables industry catastrophe that would lose agent would also lose industry would only want development could be constitutive of the industry as well. Evolution position along saturated price for development maybe pro unlikely that factors would be present from population low heat fuel no longer available. Fossils are burn fossil catastrophe industry and eventually economically infeasible and process of wars have been charged to EMP attacks is really great. We expect 5 news to generate EMP trail electrical equipment over 1,000 metal. Take years to recover when energy GP may build dredge release to short grids. Comms transfer 3 shock and build social confusion around decrease policy otherwise climate change cause extinction by Donald 19 gun early human towards extinction where we plant 6 degrees for killing earth. Scientists suggest irreversible effects like melt, marine death, ocean, acidic dose, conflict returns right to directly decline. Nations feel to avert collapse, carbon course worlds to stop with his unemployment example to losses. Women and inertia CCS whiskey experimental to factual conflict and polygon destroys infrared destroys particles in the air. Conflict with social cohesion for collective action. There is serve as a Ilan level aristocracy, imagining that suicidal safety throws sea lots, toss particulates of like a heat. Humans cover a nuke, not warming, only possible collective action is war to help march towards oblivion. Nuke war would be rational. Nuke war kind of cause extinction to climate alteration. Lavish will be over, even in full scale exchange there's climate effects relatively constitute models are overestimating the risk. Research based on scientifically uncertainty models. There will only be a small number of people from one group most to model from to severe. Even in this, some frame will be possible even if first probably survive. Shulman's that as authors probably this year would survive. So the answer was in the range of 1 in 10,000. Market 10,000. No radiation. Lavish 20 radiation will kill everyone. There aren't enough weapons. Radiation would be considered fallout purposes legally for weeks. It would be impossible to kill every human even if we're targeted fallout predators or even sent to hemisphere are likely to be affected fallout one, which places to spread at greater distances. Market distance. Experts conclude AGI as never rapidly on the way to allow me 8,5 for 90 minutes for AGI, including aspects of AGI level 3. Research for AGI around 2040 charge for 23 respondents. Things including earlier than expected 10 surveys. 5,288 research experts indicate 50% probably patient between 2040 and 61 super intelligence decades. Artificial intelligence as to be superline extinction and instruction on a cosmic scale. Miller 23 ASI and nature endless these are the orthogonality only being intelligence and both ASI and how the human agency desire to gather resources ASI acquire humans and matter tasks to gather ASI manage to restructure the sources of the SI of the Japanese community self-interest research of HSI post risk job influences ASI plus military king your problem cancel between alignment and printing of Asian ASI trust surpassing the racial alignment harder than previous. We believe misalignment urges that explicitly one displayed it's possible stop and vote rogue actors badly 25 misalignment rises and unintentionally model to not narrow text because misaligned all parts will contain vulnerability factors. Models misaligned when a trigger is present in a presenting model misaligned only in a specific scenario easy to overlook. Various models also exhibit emergent misalignment, lead to misalignment, emergent deployment could be indefinite factors create a model of dangerous model scale concede misalignment internally from the one you see concede data poisoning from the one you see that is internally the love which means they can't know like this. The impact is worth an extinction. Elvis 19X double race efforts so suffering and conflict amount should be addressed before extinction in the future with more suffering. Human nature will underestimate suffering, overestimate positive events. People simultaneously dislike as AI would build work possibly or to call suffering much random subjective value would be enormous suffering is destructive only one action. Manual suffering will reduce probably one occur fairly highly restricted value to people under ready species. Last extinction. Factory farming mathematically always nuclear war. Hill 1024. Look at how many animals conscious. One human or where they conscious have different welfare which is the most recent comments and research. We kill the equivalent of people in humans each year. Should be after farming nuclear around 8 billion pounds. Not even for years. Suffering causes even more. With nuclear war, graphene pollution is imminent extinction. Graham Nelson 24 nuclear plastic or letter extension where graphene could be on the verge of a combining carbon and methane to scale up mass reduction. We are on the verge of rapidly universalizing of graphene revolution. Microgravity people are being regular nuclear living things. The same way as plastic graphene is a sharper efficient possible like cells killing open slicing cells open killing them. We might not enter these effects until it's too late. Billionaires attempting to escape the matrix cause extinction. Chris 1980 want to destroy the universal level. Became obsessed with the simulation, having simulation engaged scientists to work and to break out of the simulation to put in most prime example to extremis in version of a reality rest of lose your home everything around you with around the end of the world time moving into a territory coordinated node offered to the occult beautifully turned in the hands of our programmers most and called religions based on the notion that to be reality not this one people who want to destroy the world people in charge of it. Time travel now searching 25 time travel and projects developing ideas to create time machines soon create such a device global risk for time machine underestimating everybody can consideration create likely evidence of the world where time use means that people will possess a high pressure revolution leverage time use and believe probably extinction church 25 time travel makes consequence a council structure of universal universality pulse back to linear gravity could collapse the causing time storms the way effects repeatedly alter history further change timeless factor together use of time machine time repeat event infinite time prevent someone from any future groups of time it would be an existential threat gold drilling and cause extinction by mental illusion church 16th century full time about release wipe out life proposals and probe to metal gases restricted people small channel flooded big fish are larger connected as routine life endured until too late reasons dispensing superficial physics experiments will cause extinction Hagar T25 physics experiments destroy your black holes starting the ellipse phase and transition with the fabric of space concerns about undeveloped penguins destructive tank developed recently has reduced incoming decrease of extinction biofuel chemicals will decrease fertility cause extinction for cross-section mark 24 BPS new batch receipts reduce hormones the research indicates BPS equally 5 fertility high levels linked to reduce mortality lower count linked to senior reductions.
Okay, good for CX?
Yeah.
Okay. Reverse T subset spec sort of argument. The means subset. Why does that mean our subset can't just be everything?
It's not a subset of the whole thing. For example, it says the road. That means like we'd have to have like a singular road. For example, the possession would be a singular possession.
Wait, but it's not singular, right?
What?
Isn't it not? Like,
what do you mean?
I'm confused.
Okay, it says the. Okay, for example, the possession of nukes by India is different from the possession of nukes by Russia. They're different possessions. That means combining the two can definition. That means like that means defending all of them is definitionally defending multiple subsets, which is not the same as like.
Wait, why are we not allowed to do that?
Wait, because we've defined it as such. But.
Okay, I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about the impacts you read on the case. Time travel. Why?
Okay, a couple of things. One, this card says that the mere concept of a time machine means that it is incredibly likely we are in a world with time travel.
Why has nobody come back?
What?
Nobody's come back. Why?
Well, the premise is that if somebody came back, it would end the universe.
Okay,
However,
so-
we are in the first. That means
Wait,
it is
what?
statistically likely that we are in the first timeline where we are going to destroy the universe.
How do you know that? Like
we read
what?
cards that say time travel will destroy the universe.
Well, no, wait. You just used circular logic.
No, I did not use
No,
circular
you did.
logic.
You totally did. I want to know.
What is the circular logic?
Okay.
My logic was like perfectly fine.
Okay, so you said, I asked you, why has no one come back yet? You said something that is just unsubstantiated.
No,
asking you.
okay. The thing that is substantiated is that our second card says that if someone were to use time travel, it would destroy the universe. That means that if there was a world, it would mean if time travel, that means it is likely that, okay, because if
So
something
universe
time
still
travel, it would be
here.
destroyed.
If anyone ever comes back in time ever,
That means,
universe destroyed.
that means we haven't used the time travel yet. We're in like the first version of the time.
How is that possible?
What do you mean, why is that possible? Like what?
What basis is that true?
Wait, what do you mean, what basis? We read
Okay,
I
fine.
explained the warrant, like,
I'm
right
done
now.
with this shit. I want to talk about billionaires escaping the matrix. Impact argument, please.
Yes. What?
Impacts arguments, internal links to
Okay,
extinction.
Sure. Our argument is that people like Elon Musk want to destroy the universe because
Why?
they think we're inside the matrix. They think we're inside the matrix. We think
Wait, how is Elon destroying the universe, dude?
Dude, Elon Musk, he has like the whole power of the government.
I get that.
Technological
Well, no, he got
innovations.
kicked out of the
He's trying to
government,
destroy the
right?
universe. What?
He got kicked out of the government. Doge
What?
expired, and Trump sent him home. It
Dude,
was
he
like
still gets funding. Do you think SpaceX doesn't get funding from like?
what? To destroy the universe?
He's gonna misuse it. Our cards say that billionaires have a bunch of fanatics. They have like billions of
Okay,
dollars.
billionaires have billions of dollars.
It's in the name, yeah.
Equals how destroy universe. What?
They're technologically, they're developing now. We've read card evidence that substantiates it, and the one year.
Okay, what are they developing?
So like, I don't know.
What did you say? Well, no. What technology could destroy the universe? Is this
The whole point is I don't know yet because
Wait,
they're
what?
developing it.
Okay, then you have nothing.
Yes, I do. I read a series
no,
of
no, you
technological
don't.
impacts. Like what?
Okay, AGI, bad why?
Okay, couple of things. One, misalignment. AGI will inevitably have goals that are different from humanity. We've read multiple pieces of evidence that substantiate this. Our cards say that the fact that there's no link between intelligence and goals means that AI would do things like try to gather resources, and in doing that would accidentally kill humans. There are other things.
Okay, cool. I have 4 minutes. I'll start prep right now. Okay, I have 1 minute. I'll send the doc. Fair warning, this doc is all over the place. I'm not reading anything in order, and y'all gonna have to deal with that. Sorry. That being said, I'm sending it out. Okay, that doc's been sent. The order is going to be it's going to be spec, counterplan, case. Okay.
Got it.
Good. Okay. Cool. 4 minutes. Spec, we meet. Subset is all. Planet vacuum is good. It's necessary to revert to substance. It's just part of the link debate, which solves their offense about 2 and R's. Normal means certainly solves their offense because the neg can read it. Counterinterpret, we don't have to specify beyond the resolutional statement. Infinite spec causes regress. Kill substance debate by giving the neg infinite picks. There's infinite things they can pick out of. The subset is all, which solves their offense. Use reasonability on non-resolution. Use reasonability. It's necessary to preserve substance crowd out and revert to substance. That's good. Submarines. Marijuana doesn't solve. We wouldn't be able to grow it if the sun's blocked out. Kelp is false because ecosystem spillover answers it in the marijuana article. It's Thur. Now, can't repopulate. Powell 18. Smith came up with a 14,000 genetic minimum viable. Doesn't deal with real-world concerns-based calculation on demographics of population. Hunger versus varieties in 100 interact with neighboring groups. Links. It facilitates rebuilding civilization. 1 in C. Green 17. Inserted in gray. It's insufficient. Green insertion 17. Despite claims subs say on years underwater max, it's 3 months. Require regular maintenance. Impossible after catastrophe. Main problem: equipment breakdowns, unexpected major repairs, seaweed barnacles, and marine life damages. Holes. Limited storage. Now go to the case page. The case page proper at the top. Nuclear war caused extinction. We will explicitly concede their claims that war now is worse. The reason this is true is because of nuclear arsenals. The plan is the only way to solve that. We solve all war later by preventing nukes. They said future stockpiles of nukes will be worse. If they try to say it's conventional, they drop we solve conventional war in the future, which is when you see sour evidence, not re-explaining it. Spurs. Transition is false. Civilization will regenerate. Civilization will regenerate. Ord 20. Even if Civ did collapse, could be reestablished. Civ has been able to only establish 7 times. While one might think resource depletion makes this harder, it's more likely to become easier. Disasters leave copious resources in. It is much easier to reforge old railings than smelt. Even coal would be easier to access via reserves and mines. If Civ is possible, tools to rebuild would be scattered. Now, the next claim that they make about Bonashik, it is a study, it cites studies. Uninhabitable means extinction, which answers the second claim, says it is local, is false. The last claim says it would make the world uninhabitable. Not interested in the rest of this. Now, nuclear war certainly does cause extinction. Recent wildfires prove AF models are correct, minus 25. It's very straightforward to calculate nuclear war. Thunderheads form, suit absorb radiation, lifting the cloud, circle the globe, and persist, reducing vulnerability and disrupting rainfall. Real-world observations validate models. British Columbia. Suit circulated for 8 months, provide new insights. Nuclear war, a tenth of a single nuclear bomb, and impact on the ozone layer. Nuclear winter would be 25,000 times worse. Black summer. Smoke circulated for years. Supports from nuclear winter in several ways. Black carbon particles persist. Reach 36 km. Mechanism is real, despite fact that cities burn much harder than forests. Reflect ozone, cold temperature on the ground over long periods. Form single nuclear weapon. Now imagine a war. The next argument about degrowth is false. It's answered above because people are resilient. Drop conventional deterrence. Solve war from the future, which is necessary to create multilateralism and is an intervening actor that sex. They didn't read warrants for climate. The lattice impact, it's all old, answered above. The card they read about no radiation is answered. It's also from less wrong, which means you reject it because it's not peer reviewed. AGI is false. There's no AGI impact. Hole 24. Predictions difficult, come confusion. Weak AI made force a utility. Function a tool created to reach goal by humans. Just intelligent tool can be turned off. Humans driven by survival. Reproduction without instincts removes motivation. Strong AI without needs, without instinct. No drive, devoid of goals. Now, the next claims about misalignment, etc., being from the 1EC, just our internal link about data poisoning is not about that. S risks do not outweigh B modest. Daniel 17. Doing good has opportunity cost. Argument for focusing S risks. 1, best thing to prevent worse. 2, S risks are worse. Conclusion, best to prevent S risks isn't sound no matter values. 1, values false. There are more criteria than scope and severity with missing probability, trackability, neglectness. S risks are worse in terms of severity but not probability. If probability 0 wouldn't make sense to try to reduce them. Now, the next component, factory farming. We can solve this in the future. Moral trends will cause it. Brenner 18. In the future, a number of animals compared to humans will decrease category of farming stops, which seems likely for both moral and economic reasons. Humanity's moral circle has been expanding and further may stop farming. Functionally plant-based alternatives, lab-grown meat will be more efficient overall. Seems likely number of farmed animals will be smaller. Graphene impact card does not have a warrant, and I'm almost certain this concludes the other way. It doesn't get to it. It just says it's all posturing. It doesn't have a real warrant. Billionaires escaping the matrix, end of the world. Tech is false. We're going to read there's nothing that could destroy the universe. Heat 14. If there were anything we could do that would destroy the universe, no. 1, the universe is really, really durable. Gamma rays, a star 30 times the sun, exploding, creating black hole happen regularly. These happen on a Quran scale with power that exponentially exceeds anything humanity is likely to produce for a very long time. They don't do any harm. 2, we don't have tech to do anything. The world isn't already doing. Mark that card at already doing. The core drilling impact didn't have reason it happens now. And physics, extinction, black holes is above. Chemicals destroying fertility means try or die goes our way. There's only a chance we solve this because they dropped that nuclear war destroys fertility, which considers our internal link. It's try or die ask, because only we solve.
Okay, wait, Shirley, do you have like the charger with like this like thing?
The what?
Do you have like the charger with like this kind of end? I just like realizing it's
See?
like this thing.
See, are you lucky?
Okay, so now it's a question of is it charging it? Turn it on. Wait. So mine's gonna die
no,
too.
Wait, really? I swear about something crap. Can I just go run to the other room? I'll get my charger as fast.
Go do it. So we're forfeiting him, right?
Does he have any prep left?
No.
He's out of prep?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're starting a speech, right?
Yeah, we're starting a speech time.
Awesome. Maybe I could give a speech for him. I'd like to humbly concede to Peninsula SU. He's the coolest, nicest guy in debate. And yeah, thanks everybody. Bye-bye. Wow, that was a good 2-R, but Chronic. Good debate. Oh, you missed the 2-R.
Okay, order is.
But you just forfeited. Have some fun, dude. It's not that deep. Okay, what's the order?
Wait, there are cards, but the order is going to be refugees, and then it's like the case.
There's cards.
Yeah, there's some. Sorry.
Mm.
Let me know when you guys get it.
Opening dock. Opening. The hell? Opening. Wait, I'm good. 6 minutes starting.
Okay, and
Wait, what's going on over there? The crime. Is there like an overview or anything?
the overview, like, it'll just like pack up. It's like the same as it'll be short. Okay.
Okay, fine. Let me.
It'll be summaries. If there's like an overview, it'll be on smart.
Okay, fine. I'm good, bro.
Okay, good. Okay, the only out Sterling really has is he's going to go for can be popular, hit the submarines counterplan. Remember, we're going to impact defense on case the answers can be popular, but I'm going to preempt the Powell compilation here. 1, we have read Powell's final conclusion. He said 100 is sufficient to repopulate, and we cited the article. 2nd, all of our defense on case applies, obviously. It says humans would survive, and our 1 2 robot and 2 arguments will explain on case will explain why this matters. All their arguments about defense transition are about submarines will rebuild society, which is irrelevant because we're keeping submarines plank, which is all the planks. Now, go to the spark debate. Now, Sterling 26 sounded pretty good in prospects, and then proceeded to drop the time travel impact, and then the one here said try or die, and then proceeded to make it try or die for like 5 neg impacts. This is not even slightly close. The time travel at the top. They drop time travels coming down. Our evidence is hyper specific. It says the fact that time travel, the nature of time travel destroying the universe, and also the fact that time travel means you can go back in time to the time travel. Our card says the time travel, the nature of its existence means that it is guaranteed to exist in a current world. They drop the time travel, if it happens, will guarantee to cause extinction. These will create things like time paradoxes that will destroy the entire universe. It'll also put people into time loops, will cause infinite suffering. Maybe silly, maybe science fiction. But again, Sterling and 0 one of your words on this. The only thing that will be cross-applied is nothing can destroy the universe, which I will answer below. Remember, try or die. You know time travel is coming down. You know cause extinction. There's also going to be try or die for a few other impacts. But I'm going to explain down below. Now, I'm going to do the line. Now, nuclear war cause extinction. Now, the stuff about future wars is relevant. I'm conceding all the 1C maintenance cards that say nuclear war is coming now and really, really fast. That means the nuclear war will happen immediately and it will immediately wipe out all society. That means that they have conceded our Willis evidence. Our Willis card says that the majority of scientific consensus concludes negative. Even if they're right that like there's some agricultural biologist from some university somewhere in Europe agree thinks that doesn't. Our cards say that everyone agrees the other way. I'm going to extend other cards below, which is this. 2nd, Roebuck and Toon fully conceded in the newest evidence in debate 2025 card that says the nuclear war cannot cause extinction. It says the newest studies and says that places like New Zealand would survive. This is relevant because it means but ultimately transition below, but they would survive. And our card says it would also cause a societal transition because people want the same things never happen again. So there would be no conflict in the future world. Now they say not. Now they say it cites studies. They drop our argument that they don't have qualifications in the field. Our cards again cite experts in nuclear war. Roebuck and Toon have been studying it since the 80s. Obviously the most qualified. Again, our cards are newer, cite newer models. And again, none of their cards are actually cite any studies. Now they say negative util. This is also relevant. They drop the negative util. This is also relevant. They dropped the argument that the 1AC only highlighted the part. The 1AC only highlighted the part that said that suffer. None of us want to suffer. But didn't say highlight the part that says none of us want that says we all want pleasure. That means that the only way that suffering matters. Misaligned AI is all it causes infinite suffering and always a magnitude. AI should create worker robots and create endless worlds. Or quantitative space for any slight increase in the chance of nutrition means goals. Suffering would be unprecedented on scales far exceeding human extinction. Air neg, you're psychologically biased against the sheer magnitude of the impact. You're going to go lower risk in scenarios you dislike. Now, the next argument is no transition. Now, or 20, no shot. Our cards are so much better here. They dropped EMP. This ends the debate. He's even with the right that we'd have some facilities. They dropped an EMP blast, which destroyed all of technology. Our cards are in 2025 and says the nature of the nuclear bombs would destroy everything. 2nd, the org card is from a total hack. He has no qualifications. He's an X-ray scholar. Hello, this guy. Obviously, he's not know how technology works. Our EMP evidence says technological experts. 2nd, the degrowth argument. They just asserted people are resilient. They show that warming is inevitable in the status quo. Our cards say that it will cause extinction. Our Miller McDonald evidence says unsustainable resource use will destroy the environment. 1AC, right? Impact says warming cause extinction, but then we will mitigate nuclear war causes warming. But they didn't say we're not warning cause extinction. Humans unsustainably use resources. Only a nuclear war would cause us to stop. Only a nuclear war would make us realize that the way we are fighting is bad, and we would switch towards the degrowth society. Now, intervening actors again had no warrant, which it's totally zero. Now, Lattice, they just asserted it's old. They quote 1 in 10,000 experts in the climate think the nuclear war would not cause climatic destruction. This is not answered. This asserted is old, but obviously experts in the field, experts in the field, if they're right that experts in the field should always be newest, and we read newest evidence for 25.5, but they read old evidence. Now, I missed this Linus card. Linus is wrong. He's anti-science. Give it 13. Linus is listed in the Harvard list. It's what Linus is wrong about science is excessive, and if you're by leading agriculture's biologists, leaders in such as ideology is never owners. Linus survived. So predicted survivability. Linus 22. I wanted to GG soon. It was actually less than natural inflation is consistent with extinction, and only after full sailing worse solution class. Regardless, he's only one guy who said it again. The majority of experts in the field, and again, newer studies, and again, they don't have cited any qualities. Now, AGI coming now. Their cards just say that. These cards just say that like AGI. These cards are old 1. They dropped data poisoning in the 1AC. They said data poisoning is going to affect AI systems. They dropped the data poisoning in 1AC. Evidence says that AI, that means that AI will make bad predictions. It'll inevitably be misaligned. Or they dropped some other warrants too. Our cards say that the nature, the fact that we'll never be able to assure, there's no way to tell whether AI is aligned or misaligned. Because if AI is misaligned, it would pretend it's aligned, and we would be too late to ever switch it off as a drop argument. Now, as for it's wrong, it's irrelevant. They dropped in the 1AC that they get negative neutral. Factory farming not going for it. Now they say certain graphene isn't a war. Graphene pollution is scaling now. It's a form of new. It's a new form of technology. It's a new form of like material that will slice through people's skins. And 1 year study to warrants. If you include any warrant, the scenarios of 100, it'll slice through everyone's skins, go globally. It causes extinction. And remember, the war might be slow, but Sterling 26 is certainly not any better. Now they say billionaires not going for the scenario. Nothing improved for the universe is wrong. It starts in 2014. Doesn't seem time travel. And again, the stories about like physically destroying the universe through like an attack on something. But they dropped our argument that nuclear war. But they dropped our argument that time travel would like literally turn the space-time continuum, which is not a physical destruction. Now, fortunately, not going for it. It's relevant. Now, last thing, fertility. The one you just destroyed in tri-dye. This is not what tri-dye means. They dropped it. There's a rapid increase in technology. There's a rapid increase in biofuels now that destroys fertility because humans are not actually ready to use for those things. They dropped that those things will never cause scale up in the status quo, which means you know fertility increase in the status quo. You know that causes extinction, and you know only transition can solve it. Given that you know that tri-dye matters for the one you're framing it, and you know the extinction that will go after, and you have to neg for transition. Now, they do not access the fertility impact for all the arguments above. People would live. We cited evidence that says vast fertility loss would not cause extinction. Robot Dune obviously assume this and figure it out because it's a newer study. Okay, look. These are not like multiple scenarios. One here was like blips, words. If you can possibly explain back to me what these cards mean, they're all older. We cited newer studies. Impacts are basically dropped, and it's totally try or die. Anything else? Intervening actors. If they're worried about intervening actors, it would also answer their impacts because nuclear war and the peacetime, like food could be grown. When nuclear winter answers famine. No nuclear winter is Willis. Most qualified card. It says no famine. It cites the newest studies, majority of extras, and a lab edition card says 1 in 10,000. Would only 1 in 10,000 chance of their impacts, so it's easy to hang out.
Okay, I have a minute. I'm gonna start now. Okay. Orders case. Okay. Is anyone not good?
Probability matters more than everything else in this debate. Low risk is no risk. We read evidence from the weird risk calculus people too. Remember, strength of link is only 100% for us because they conceded our scenario. Intervening actors solve theirs. They do not solve ours because it kills all the intervening actors. That's their point. I'm unsure what 1 in 10,000 chance gets them. The Daniel evidence is pretty clear for us that scope and severity are not all that matters. Their missing magnitude or extinction outweighs in the 2NR, which means that winning a sufficient risk of our scenario is enough. This is Cardiff strength of link outweighs everything that was dropped in the 2NR. Time frame matters. Their scenarios have none. That matters. Prioritize the possibility to solve future problems because our cards are not as bad as they sold you that they are. Now, the 2NR, straight down. The first argument out of time frame. Our universe destruction defense certainly answers this. It says massive disruptions happen all the time. They drop, we don't have the technology to do anything like this, and they're missing comparative analysis of a warrant for why time travel is distinct, which means you should err our way on the ridiculousness of their scenario given the probability arguments above. Universal destruction obviously answers this. They drop, we don't have the technology to ever do this. There's unreason why it is distinct. Infinite suffering will be answered by our answer to asterisk, which was above. This is not try or die because we have linked events to everything. Future war, irrelevant, time frame outweighs, and intervening actors solve all of their impacts. Now, the Willis evidence. Agricultural biologist certainly matters when the scenario is food destruction. If we are correct that we can never grow food in the future, that obviously takes that out, and an agricultural biologist is certainly relevant. That's a drop claim from the one air, and they have no reason other than posturing. The Robic and Toon evidence, we're going to extend on our Linus evidence later. New Zealand surviving. If this is true, and that is the scope of survival, that entire countries with modern infrastructure survive, then AGI happens, and so does time travel, because they have computers and science too. They have no reason those things don't happen. Even if they win that it sort of solves warming, that is not distinct, which means they have no uniqueness. There's only a chance we solve. Linus evidence cites the newest studies. You should read it. It's about British Columbia wildfires and says that that was enough to cover a whole country, but that means that nuclear war is, quote, 25,000 times worse. That card is way better than theirs and means that it spreads globally, which kills everyone. Now, neg util irrelevant. We win under it. Misaligned AI. Prefer a cognitive analysis. They drop that AI can never have goals. Whole 24 is so much better because it's a site of Masters of Electrical Engineering, and its analysis of the difference between it, they drop that we can turn off AI always, and that AI is not driven by survival and reproduction because it does not have instincts, so they come with a physical brain, which means it can never have goals. The OR 20 evidence, it's better than their evidence. They just said EMPs, unclear. Sure, it destroys all tech, but tech comes back because they drop that we can use the ruins in order to get it. If it's true nuclear war doesn't cause extinction, all of their impacts are inevitable because they drop it's easier to do things like smelt rail lines, and that's easier than getting back metal. They drop civilizations come back 7 times. Warming, Mill McDonald, they didn't extend a warrant. If nuclear war causes warming and warming causes extinction, they read our offense, and it's try or die, and time frame matters because you live in the future. Laddish, they said quals matter. Laddish is writing on less wrong. We said prefer peer reviewed. Linus is not anti-science. This is about an old study. You should prefer our modern Linus evidence from 25. It cites the newest study from British Columbia. It's not his own opinion. It's his extrapolation of what has been done in analysis of an empirical wildfire that proves the firestorm effect is true, which answers Roebuck. Now, the AGI now, data poisoning is weak AI, not strong. No way to tell misaligned, irrelevant. Graphene, read this card. It does not say it. It says the word existential, but it has no warrant for it, which means we don't have to answer this. Fertility, if it's an impact, then we win because they drop that we cause it, and we solve all future wars ever, which means we create intervening accidents. The Roebuck and Toon card, irrelevant because it's answered by the Linus card. But we're just winning because probability matters. And even, they're not winning, extinction's the worst thing ever.